It ain't even loaded. He furrowed his heavy brow. Who are you, then? Someone send you after me? A client didn't care for your work on her stove, specifically the fact that you overlooked some common safety glyphs. She was burned quite badly. If Tane backed off much further, he'd be against the wall where the alley turned. He was far enough from the street now. This was the place. I'm really hoping that this is the part where you swear to change your ways and make things right with Miss Utress. Bitch shouldn't have tried to buy cheap. The price I offer, they ain't all going to be perfect. Iron Driver shrugged his massive shoulders. Should have paid someone bigger to come after me, too. Talking's done, thief. Tossing his knife from hand to hand, he started forward once more. This time, Tane didn't retreat. Instead, he reached into his pocket and crushed the seal on the charm inside. A translucent dome shimmered to life around Tane and Iron Driver, glowing a faint silver blue. Iron Driver glanced back at the silvery barrier just behind his shoulder and laughed. Too late to keep me out now. And finally, Tane allowed himself the smile he'd been holding back. Oh, it's not meant to keep you out. Kadka crouched atop the low brick warehouse on the south side of the alleyway, waiting for Carver to give the signal. As usual, he was talking too much, which was often amusing, but there was a mage to fight, and waiting on a rooftop was almost as boring as watching closed doors at the university. There was a reason she wasn't a guard anymore. The tattooed dwarf advanced, tossing his knife back and forth. A shimmer of silver then, and the shield was up. There it was, the signal. Kadka backed off a few steps, launched herself into a run, and vaulted over the side of the roof, snarling for effect. Iron Driver looked up at the sound, saw her falling. His eyes widened and he started to turn. Too late. She passed easily through the shield and hit him hard from near 20 feet up, sending him sprawling to the ground on his back. His knife flew free of his hand, skittered across the ground, and struck the inside of the shield with a silver flash. Even with the dwarf to break the momentum of her fall, the impact still knocked Kadka to her hands and knees. She and Iron Driver both gained their feet at the same time. Kadka flashed Iron Driver a sharp-toothed grin. Should have sent someone bigger, you said? He stared at her bared teeth. Half-orc, he spat, somewhere between disgust and fear. His eyes went to Carver, and then back to Kadka again. You're the Magebreakers, ain't you? I hate that name, muttered Carver. He's not wrong, though, said Kadka, still grinning. She took a single step toward the dwarf. Iron Driver turned and ran. Or tried to. He hadn't gone more than 2 feet before he struck the translucent barrier. A flash of silver sent him stumbling back. Carver had scribed the charm and commissioned it from Bastion, a reversed shield made to keep things in rather than out. Kadka never understood much when he talked about magical theory, but he'd been clear enough that it wouldn't last long, which was fine by her. A time limit made things more interesting. Iron Driver broke right, going for the knife he dropped. She moved to intercept, kicking the blade away and tackling him against the shield. He grabbed her arms, pried them off with an angry grunt. He was stronger than she was used to. Ogren aside, there weren't many in Thalos who could grapple with her. A pleasant surprise. She laughed as he shoved her back. Taking advantage of the space he'd created, Iron Driver started to chant in the magical language Carver called the lingua. He was already raising a hand. Kadka regained her balance and charged. A fist to the throat usually stopped a spell, but she could already tell she wasn't going to make it. Hey! Carver's voice, and then a brass tube struck Iron Driver in the side of the face. The dwarf's head snapped to the side, and a wave of silver force surged high from his outstretched hand, striking the ceiling of the shield dome over Kadka's head. The artifact Carver had thrown clattered to the ground. Kadka was on Iron Driver before he could open his mouth again. She wrapped her leg behind his and shoved him hard. He toppled backward to the cobblestones. Following him down, she landed with her forearm across his throat, cutting off his breath and his voice. With her free hand, she pinned one of his heavily muscled arms to the ground. Iron Driver clawed at her eyes with the other, his face flushed red beneath the iron-black tattoos on his scalp. A moment later, Carver was beside